I am Ross Cessna, and this is Renji. And today we are going to discuss my day one experiences with the saint from the 40 servants, and as well, we're going to start day two of the ritual. So let's run it. Okay, so yesterday I did the day one introduction ritual from the 40 servants with the saint, and at the end of the ritual, you ask him to kind of give you a sign that he hears you, right? So I've had a couple weird experiences that I wanted to relate. Sorry if you hear Renji snoring, by the way. The first weird experience, though, was just doing something like signing into an account, and there was like a block for it, and then the thought kind of came up that, hey, this is the saint, and I'm not letting this pass until you acknowledge, like, this is one of the signs. And then immediately after that thought, I went and tried it, and it had worked again, although it wasn't working for like 10 or more minutes prior to that. So it was a weird experience, right? I'm not saying that does or doesn't mean anything. People can take whatever they want from that. But then this morning, I meditate at my altar most mornings, just because it's something that I like to do. And the card's still set up there, obviously, because you're supposed to leave it out. And when I meditated, I had a much different experience. Like, it was much more like physically. I do a visualization, and it was like being in the spots that I was visualizing, like physically. And then I had asked to speak to somebody. Like, I asked who is there with me, because this is a place where other people meditate and focus on being as well. And I got the name Raul. And I was like, well, what do you do, Raul? And he's like, I'm here to help you with healing. And he said some other stuff as well. But anyhow, after I was done meditating, I Googled the name Raul and kind of what it means. In Hebrew, it means friend of God. And in Spanish, it means wolf counsel, which I think is badass, right? Additionally, though, I looked up the individual letters, and then found their association with numbers in gematria, and then I looked up those numbers in Kabbalah, and it would be the number would be 237, and it's associated with a Ananonin, guardian of the 26th tunnel set. That's like the 26th path, and that's associated with the letter AIYN, Ain, or I. And it's super interesting because a lot of the personal work that I'm doing right now is associated with changing my perception on things and understanding that I can slow down. And there's been like this whole dynamic revolution in how I perceive reality. But anyhow, just wanted to kind of report that thing, because it was like, in terms of how I attribute that to the saint, let me put that in there too, right? So it actually is in context. Because he's the intermediary, he introduces you to people, and not having this experience prior of being introduced to a guide, that's pretty significant to me, right? But anyhow, we're going to get into the day two ritual. Okay, so this is day two of the saint ritual. We have the unifying sigil on the left, then we have the saint, and then on the right, I decided to incorporate my sigil into this as well. That's kind of like a life goal, and there's all sorts of little facets that support it there, so it's a good reminder for me, right? That being said, we will get into... Start by lighting the candle. Then we are going to light the other candle off of that candle. Next, we go for the little charcoal briquette. Then we wait on that for a second for the charcoal briquette to ignite all the way. And today we're actually going to be using styrax rather than the communication incense. Wanted to switch it up and offer a different offering. Still going to do the tea. I think I'm going to do the tea probably every time I do the ritual, just because it's convenient. And again, I think it's a nice gesture, right? Oops, I spilled some. And we'll just let that sit for a second. I did not use the Palo Santo this time. I just realized it's okay though. I meditated here already this morning and burned Palo Santo. So I'm going to count that as it being okay, right? This styrax has such a good smell. If you've never worked with styrax before, I highly suggest checking it out. It's also called storax. Some people use benzoin and styrax as interchangeable. Personally, the two smells are very distinct, and they're two distinct things, but it can be substituted for it. Anyhow, we're going to begin the invocation on the introduction day 2 for the saint now. I call on you, great servant, the saint, to come to me so I may know you. I am Ross Cessna, the master and ruler of this domain. You are the servant known for intercession and calling on experts. Come forth and introduce yourself to me. Ever obey me, great servant, and ever please me. In return, I will offer you acknowledgement and sustenance, so that your energy, potency, and fame increase. Give me a sign that you have heard my call and have come forth to welcome me as your master and friend. And like I had mentioned in the beginning of this video, I definitely had some experiences where they were a little bit otherworldly since doing this yesterday. So I'm curious to see if more of those come up. Check out that other video, the day 1 up above, and then check out tomorrow's video to be there for the last day with the saint, and then we will move on to the next card. Like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.